Good morning. Welcome to this week's Wednesday Mindful Meetup in the morning. I hope those of you that are live with me today, I hope your day is beginning well for you. If it's a rough start, you have come to the right place. This is the time we take once a week, early in the morning, or early to me anyway, 7 a.m., to ease our way into the day. This is some gentle breathing, some gentle movement, maybe just stretching the body slightly from a seated position. And then we'll meditate for a little bit to check in and find some calm centering and hopefully carry that through the rest of today. So let's begin this morning with some breathing. We can take a few deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. As you exhale, it's a good time to let your jaw relax open. And just let the air flow out. No need to push the exhale out. The body has its own pace. Do another one. Letting that jaw tension relax is really important. I just read an article from the Times yesterday that somebody sent me from a dentist who's saying that since the pandemic started, they've been seeing at least one and usually multiple cases a day of cracked teeth, horrible migraines, horrible pain. What's going on? Well, I didn't even need to read the article, although I did, but from the title I could see clearly this is a stress reaction. So tight jaws, this is a pretty strong reflex. This is something we do, and it happens a lot in sleep. So first thing in the morning, you might want to give your jaw a little massage. So you can take your fingertips and find, open and close your jaw, and you'll feel where that joint is, templar mandibular joint, aka TMJ. And just feel where that is, and just set your fingers there, and then breathing in, and then on the exhale, just rub down the sides here. You'll be able to feel where those muscles are, and let the jaw relax. You might come in behind the jaw, right where the back of right behind your earlobes. It's tender here, so don't be too vigorous in terms of pressure. But just see if a little bit of rubbing, a little massage will open the jaw. And you can do that at any point during the day, especially when you're feeling anxious, worried, or you're just caught up in thinking. When you notice that, 3 mindful breaths, just 3. Just 3 breaths actually changes the brain chemistry. You could do deep breathing longer than that if it feels right to you. But just remembering to do 3 and let your jaw go. Very refreshing. Now, when you're really fatigued, or first thing in the morning like this, if you're feeling really sleepy, or the middle of the afternoon, if you're starting to nod off at work or whatever you're doing, taking in short bursts of inhales. This is also known as Kapalabhati breathing, I believe, in yoga, although I could be wrong about that term. I learned to call it staccato breathing from Franz Merkel, my Qigong teacher. And staccato is a good way to describe it because it's basically like the short notes in music, staccato. So we're going to breathe in like that, again through the nose, in short bursts like this. And then let it out. One more time. That's a kind of invigorating, waking up, reviving kind of breathing. And now just allowing the body to find its own natural breathing rhythm. Good. Let's just do a few minutes of stretching just to open the body a little bit, and not only to stretch the muscles, but to give our attention something to rest on. So the sensations of breathing and stretching is what we're going to pay attention to. Don't worry about how far you're stretching, just tuning into the sensations that you feel. That's the beginning of meditation. So we're going to inhale and just stretch both hands and arms up. And notice if you're lifting your shoulders or tightening your neck. See if you can keep your shoulders free and your neck easy. And also notice as you're stretching your fingertips up, what's happening in your lower back. Can you keep your lower back relaxed? And keep your sitting bones right on the seat that you've taken. So we're not lifting up out of the pelvis. We're stretching along the sides of the body and breathing. And on your next exhale, bringing the hands out to the side, stretching out in a T position. And let's just bend at the wrists. So we'll flex and have the palms of the hands, sorry my camera's not quite wide enough for this, palms of the hands facing the walls opposite you, and then extend, fingers pointing down toward the floor, and just alternate, just at the wrists. If you have any wrist problems here, you can modify this, but just sensing how, depending on what you're doing with your wrists, you get a different stretch in your arms. Good. And then bringing the hands back down, releasing the shoulders, releasing anything that might have been involved in that simple side stretch. Now we're going to bring the right arm up overhead. Breathe in. Exhale and curve to the side. Again, not tightening in the lower back, not lifting up off the seat. So if you're going so far that you're lifting the right side up, come back a little bit, stay nice and stable. And just touch into that stability in the pelvis. And feel the stretch along the right side. Breathing, making sure to breathe. Inhaling, come back up to center and take another breath in. Stretch the left arm up and exhale over to the other side. Just a simple side stretch, no biggie. Feeling how the body is ready to open this morning. Letting the lungs open, letting the mind open. And on your next inhalation, you can come back to center. Good. Now letting the head drop forward. And just feeling the stretch along the back of the neck. If you have any issues with your neck, you're not going to want to do this next thing, but if you don't, you can interlace your fingers, place your hands on the back of the head, and just let the weight of the hands and arms pull the head forward increasing the stretch along the neck, along the spine. You're not pulling with your hands or arms, just resting the weight of them. That's sufficient. And then breathing, of course. And then let the hands drop, and you'll feel your head just begin to float up without any effort. Just stay with that direction. Feel how the head wants to come up. And see if you can sense where the head sits on top of the spine. You might want to put your fingers in your ears just for a reference point, just as a little reminder that if you could continue to bring your fingers together, they would meet at the top of your spine. So this is how high up the spine comes. This is the uppermost joint in the body. And I always think it's interesting that the first motion we can make at the highest joint in the body is nodding yes. And then the second vertebra of the spine is the axis, and it makes turning side to side possible. That's the action of that joint. So no. No comes second. Yes is first. No is second. I don't know if that means anything, but I think it's good to say yes. And that's actually what we're going to be focusing on in meditation this morning. So make yourself comfortable if you're not as comfortable as you can be in your seat. You might want to take one more sip of coffee or tea or water, whatever you've got going this morning. Allowing the sound of the bell to call us into a stable, comfortable, relaxed yet very alert state. It's a nice balance between relaxation and alert, bright mind. If you'd like, you can allow your eyes to gently close. Or if you're still pretty sleepy this morning, you might want to leave them slightly open and just have a soft downward gaze. As we begin to turn the attention inward. And again, returning the attention to the body and the breath. Right here, these consistent, tangible objects of awareness, this body that is always present. You might feel and appreciate the contact of the sitting bones with the seat you've taken. Letting the attention rest on that contact point. Maybe tuning into the weight and the way the weight of the lower body is supported as you sit. If you're sitting on a cushion with your legs crossed, feeling that triangle, that stable triangle of support from the bottom of the pelvis, across the legs, out to the knees, and across the lower legs and feet where they're resting on the mat or cushion. If you're sitting in a regular chair, allowing the soles of the feet to contact the floor and bringing some gentle attention to the support of the feet and the legs. Feeling the connection from the hips to the knees to the ankles, ankles to each foot. And from this stable base, then, sensing into the natural alignment, the uprightness of the body along the spinal column. And the spine runs up through the middle of the body in various curving sections. So you might feel the lower back, the lumbar spine, that curves forward. And then when the spine connects to your ribs, it changes direction and curves back behind you until it gets right up to the base of the neck. And then the curve of the neck mirrors the curve of the lower back, and it curves forward. And then, as I said, the neck spine rises all the way up to about the level of your cheekbones. And you might want to nod yes or turn the head no to feel that delicate, poised balance of the head. How much easier can the head and the face and the neck be? Bringing kind attention to the head and the neck and maybe the tops of the shoulders, across the collarbones. If you like, you can place fingers right at the base of the throat, and you can feel the two little bumps where the collarbones connect into the breastbone, the sternum, and just trace your fingers across your collarbones and see how wide they are. Allowing those collarbones to be at rest, widening across to meet the shoulder joints. Letting the shoulder blades and back be at rest, just draping down the back. Bringing some kind attention to your arms and hands wherever they're at rest. Attending to your own touch, feeling where the palms of the hands are at rest, feeling what the hands are touching. And if they're touching your legs, your lap, then receiving that contact, receiving your own touch. And bringing some care and curiosity to sensations in the whole torso now. The chest, the back, the belly, back down into the pelvis. Not seeking to find anything in particular, but opening the attention in a receptive, attentive way. Noticing that sensations arise, stay for a little while, and then change or fade. This is all happening effortlessly. We don't need to work hard to feel. Simply choosing to turn toward what is in this body right now. Not trying to feel or notice every sensation. Simply listening to the body in the same way you might listen to sounds, the way you might listen to music. You're not trying to hear every instrument. You may hear certain passages, certain rhythms. certain melodies that repeat. So without strain, just opening, widening the lens of attention to receive sensations in the body right now. Keeping it very simple, not worrying about any thoughts that might be present, not following any thinking. And if you do get caught up in a thought train, when you notice that, simply let go, gently returning the attention to the body, the sensations of the body sitting. Just that. Now, as you sit and attend to sensations, becoming aware of the sensations of breathing, this body breathing. And although we began this session with some intentional directed breathing, long deep breaths and some short bursts of staccato breathing, as we sit now, just allowing the body to breathe itself. You might feel it most easily right at the tip of the nose, feeling that thin stream of air that comes in through the nostrils and then out again. Or you may be aware of movements of breathing at the chest, in the upper back and shoulders. Or you might actually be able to feel it most vividly at the abdomen, which rises on the in-breath and falls on the out-breath. And if resting the attention at a specific spot in the body feels like too much effort, just getting a sense of the whole body breathing. Just the general sense of taking in air and letting it out again. The body taking in what it needs and releasing out again. Not thinking about breathing, but feeling the breath in the body. body is breathing in a long breath, knowing the long breath. When the body is breathing in a short breath, knowing that it's short. Sounds might be around you in the room, in the outer environment. Other sensations in the body, thoughts and emotions might be present, and all of that can be in the background. Letting the attention stay very close, intimate with sensations of breathing. There's nothing to create, nothing to make happen or stop from happening. Simply sitting and letting the attention rest on sensations of the body breathing in and out. And beginning again and again as often as necessary. Thank you for practice this morning. Have a wonderful day.